dumplings. Today our video is on dumplings at a place called Gubok Mandu. But before we go to the restaurant, story time. It started in presumably one of China's golden ages in its history. Legend says that a man named Zheng Zongjian returned to his village after a long winter, but then he noticed his fellow citizens were suffering from frostbite, strangely around their ears. So what he did was whip up some sheep, herbs, and some spices, wrap them in dough in the shape of little ears, then boiled them. And that's how dumplings were born. Now, let's go find these little ears.
Could be somewhere around here. There it is. Gubok Mandu.
Let's go get some frostbitten ears. Alright, so as we sit down, they present you with the menu right away. Feel free to pause the video if you want to take a better look. So right away, I poured myself a cup of water because it was a hot summer day, but to my surprise, it wasn't water. It was actually hyunmi tea, which is basically brown rice, and it was cold and fresh out of the refrigerator, so just a perfect start to the restaurant experience. And they gave out these little dishes that had like small things on them, but I didn't know what this was. Something that I wasn't familiar with. I didn't know what this was. It looked like some raw squid or something. And here's some chopsticks. This is common for Korean restaurants. You can grab as many chopsticks and spoons as you please. So here's our setup, and I'm gonna try these little things. I don't know what this was, but you know what we do as humans. We just eat them and find out. And perhaps regret. Yeah, it was like straight up ginger, like a very potent wasabi going through my gastrointestinal. And now it's time for the pickled radish. This is usually common in a lot of Korean, Chinese fusion restaurants. Good radish. And as a curious creature that I am, I found these like chili things in containers, which we will definitely need for the dumplings coming up. And some green onions to pair with. And when I usually go to dumpling restaurants, I try to make my own sauce, which is what I'm trying to do here. But later on, we find out that they actually have a sign for how to eat these dumplings. Okay, so while we wait for the dumplings, I'm just gonna show you guys what the restaurant looks like. I don't think it's super popular around lunchtime, so if you guys ever come by, you should be able to get a spot right away. And by the way, if you need more radish, they have a radish self-service station. So now we're gonna follow directions for the first time ever, and I'm still struggling. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm playing like the shell game with myself or something. But I finally solved the puzzle, and apparently they give you the dish and you just dip the soy sauce in it. And while I was still trying to figure out the sauce, the gentleman came over with their house special Gubok dumplings. And then he came with the other dumplings that we ordered as well, all together. I mean, just look at the steam, the sweat, the moist of the dumplings. Starting with their house special Gubok Mandu. Visually, it's very appetizing for me because I like the caramelization of the bottom because it adds like a crunchiness texture to your soft dumpling bite. And now, little ear, into my mouth. And now once the flavors landed on my tongue, yeah, the dumplings were actually fire. Like when you put your nose to it, you can smell the meat, the vegetables, the herbs, the spices. I'm not joking, this was actually a very good dumpling. Very, very good. And the other dumplings, we'll get there in a minute. Now this is when it's a good time to have the pickled radish because it's kind of like a palate cleanser. And now, personally, one of my favorites, the xiaolong bao. Let's get right into it. Looks like our first one's already popped, but that's okay. We'll just dunk it in the sauce and dunk it into my mouth. If I can put it into a word, it's very herbaceous, if that's a word. It's almost like a thick vegetable soup. Nothing crazy or different about any other xiaolong bao, and it's a bit less seasoned than I would like, but maybe it's the American in me. Again, I didn't taste anything different this time either. I think it just lacks a lot of like salt and flavor intensity, if that makes sense. Anyways, that was the xiaolong bao. And now the shrimp dumplings. Guys, do I look professional or no? I don't know what I'm really tasting right now. I think I'm eating a shrimp dumpling. Like I think, but it tastes like a mushroom and potato. We need some sauce ASAP. What am I tasting right now? Okay, let's try these dumplings again, because maybe that was just a bad one. Maybe that was just a bad one. So back to their house special Gubok dumplings. There's just something about the flavor that's just like, it's been passed down for generations, right?
So with the shrimp dumplings, you can pretty much taste mostly the mushrooms. And like the xiaolong bao is like, I feel like it's lacking a little bit of salt, if you know what I mean. But the flavor doesn't really deliver. If you like light flavors, I think the xiaolong bao will be the right one for you. But the biggest recommendation that I have for you guys is their Gubok dumplings. Those are the best ones. You need to get those if you actually come here.
And again, sorry guys for not having clear audio there. I don't have a microphone yet, and I'm still trying to get over the shyness of speaking in public, if you know what I mean. But hopefully next video it'll be better and I can provide you guys with more valuable and quality content. And guys, thank you for watching. If you stuck around to the end of the video, thank you guys. Here are some bloopers for you.
Well, welcome back to another channel. Maybe it'll make me go back. Or maybe...
Thank you for watching my video until the end. It really means a lot to me. And if you'd like to give me some feedback, please feel free to do so in the comments down below. See ya!